Hello, everyone. My name is Marina Minnick. I am with the Citizens Utility Board, and today we're partnering up with Alderman Matthew O'Shea to give a webinar on navigating solar options. So before we dive in, our roadmap for today, I'll be going through who I am with, CUB, and then we'll mainly talk about community solar, Illinois Solar for All, rooftop solar, and a special group buy program going on right now called Grow Solar Chicagoland. All right, so to start, Citizens Utility Board, or CUB, the Illinois General Assembly created CUB in 1983 through the CUB Act, and CUB is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, and we fight to represent ratepayers to keep utility rate hikes down, and we advocate for clean and affordable energy. Our website has a lot of different resources. I believe we have about 80 fact sheets with information from how to go solar to how to be more energy efficient and even how to fight robocalls. And we have a hotline, which I've listed on the screen. And this hotline can be used for any questions that you may have about your utility, about any bills that you receive. If you have a complaint, our hotline team is really wonderful and can help you out with any questions or complaints that you may have. And I've listed our website as well, citizensutilityboard.org. The outreach team also does about 500 events a year, similar to the one that we're doing right now. So we do virtual and in-person presentations, we table at resource fairs, and we also hold something called utility bill clinics. And at a utility bill clinic, you can bring your bills in from, your gas, electric, phone, cable, Wi-Fi, anything you can imagine, you can bring it in. We'll analyze it, make sure there's nothing strange going on. And we can also suggest ways to get that price down for you on your bills. We also offer a virtual utility bill clinic. If you email your scanned bills to ubc@citizensutilityboard.org, a staff member will go through that bill for you and once again, talk to you about how to get that bill down. All right, now we can get to the bulk of the presentation. So what is community solar? That's what we're starting with. Community solar is a great way for people to access solar, but who can't put solar on their roofs. So this is a great program for renters, condo owners, or if you just have a very shaded roof and it wouldn't make sense for you to get panels on your own roof. And the way that it works is you subscribe to a community solar farm that is built somewhere in your utility territory, and that subscription will offset your own electricity usage. So for an example, here is a map of the utility territories in Illinois. And so we have the ComEd in red, and that's probably what most of you are. Green is Ameren, and that covers most of downstate. And then the little orange spots there are Mid-American. So as long as there is a community solar farm located physically in your utility territory, you are eligible to subscribe to that solar project. One note is that if you are a municipal utility customer or a co-op customer, you may not be able to sign up for this program because there needs to be a community solar farm in that specific area. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. All right, so how does community solar actually work? Instead of installing panels on your roof, you will subscribe to a community solar project, like I said. And so developers build these community solar farms and pay the upfront cost to build, maintain, and connect that garden to the utility's power grid. And then when you sign up for community solar, you're subscribing to a portion of that farm. So you can do it, your neighbors, your local businesses can all subscribe to a project. And the subscription fee that you pay will help fund the garden. And in return, you will get a credit on your utility bill that's proportional to the electricity produced by the share of your solar garden. So when you do apply for a project, the developer will often ask you for about a year's worth of your electricity bills. And this way they can size your subscription accurately to your electricity usage. And then each month your subscription will produce electricity And the community solar company will report the number of kilowatt hours that your subscription produced to your utility, and you will receive credits on your electric bill from your utility once those are reported. And one thing to note, if your electricity usage does dramatically increase or decrease, you are able to change the size of your subscription when that happens. So say you get an electric car, you're using a lot more electricity now, you can size that subscription larger in order to cover that extra electricity usage. And here is an example of what your bill would look like before community solar versus after community solar. So before, in the purple section, we see this electric bill. This person used 800 kilowatt hours, and the total for their bill ended up being $109. And this is just an example, but this person at the end of the month owes $109. Now with community solar, you'll often receive your electric bill and a bill from your solar provider. So in the electric bill, you can see that this person still used 800 kilowatt hours that month, but there's also a solar credit because their subscription produced 714 kilowatt hours that month. And so this results in a $50 credit on their bill, leaving the total at $59. But of course, you still need to pay that subscription fee to the solar developer. So you'll receive a bill from your solar developer or provider, and it'll list that the credit you got on your bill was $50, but they will only charge you a portion of that credit. And so most solar companies will offer a specific percentage rate discount. So in this example, it's a 20% discount. And so you only have to pay them $40, whereas you saved $50. So in the end, this person owes $99. Their monthly savings were $10, and they're also, helping to fund new solar projects in the state, and they're offsetting their electricity usage. So community credit or community solar credits are applied to your supply section of your bill first, but if that credit is worth more than the supply section of your bill, then it will be applied to the delivery and taxes and fees, and therefore offsetting other sections of the bill. So this is the front page of a sample ComEd bill, and you can see supply, delivery, and taxes and fees there. And during the summer, you will often produce a lot more electricity than you do in the winter, just because there's a lot more sun here in Illinois in the summer. But you will never be paying more than you're saving. See, in the winter, if you do produce less electricity, you'll still only be paying a percentage of that credit. So in all circumstances, you will be saving money overall. Here is an example of the backside of a ComEd bill. So once you do join a community solar project, they will add this renewable community supply details section. And so here it will show the name of your community solar project and how many kilowatt hours the subscription generated that month. So in this example, it generated 252 kilowatt hours, which equals $14.30. And then in this highlighted section under the supply, with the red arrows, that is where they applied the credit. So here they applied the renewable community supply credit, and it's that same $14.30. Now, if this would have been a larger credit, then it would also be applied to delivery and taxes and fees. And this example is for a commercial building, so their electricity usage is quite high. So just to keep in mind, it is an example. So if you have heard about green plans, you might be thinking that community solar sounds pretty similar to a green plan. And I just wanted to take some time and point out why community solar is significantly better than a green plan. So alternative suppliers have offered green plans in Illinois for a long time. And you may have gotten knocks at your door from folks from these green plans, or you may have seen them tabling at farmers markets, and they'll usually say, hey, do you want to power your home with renewable energy? Sign up for our program today. But with green plans, your electricity usage is offset with something called renewable energy credits, or RECs. And RECs are generated anytime that renewable energy is produced, but they're not always from newly built renewable energy. So with the green plan, they could be offsetting your electricity usage with RECs bought from a wind farm in Texas that has been running for 20 years. So they're not always working to support new renewable generation. So why are community solar offers better than green plans? Well, first, all community solar projects are required to be new projects. So if you're interested in signing up for community solar to help the environment or help fight climate change, we want to be supporting and funding these new projects and adding more renewables to the grid versus supporting projects that have been here for a long time. Community solar projects are also required to be built in Illinois. So it's nice if we can support the addition of renewables in our own state. And a big one, community solar saves you money, as we saw, versus green plans overcharge you. It's often an extra charge on your bill in order to offset your energy with these renewable energy credits from a green plan. And lastly, community solar plans are much more transparent than green plans. So with the community solar plan, you're going to know exactly where that project is. If you wanted to, you could drive there, look at it, you know it exists and you know where it is, versus a green plan, they don't always tell you where it is. So there's just a lot less transparency. You don't really know where these RECs are coming from. So if you are interested in community solar or finding a way to offset your carbon emissions, I do highly recommend going for a community solar over a green plan. Now, if you are interested in signing up, there are a few things to consider before picking which community solar provider you want to go with. So right now in the state of Illinois, there are 8 community solar offers, and they all work a bit differently. So that's something you want to consider. Some of them will have different savings, and they're usually from around 10 to 20%, but they do vary. So that's something you want to keep an eye on. What is the contract term? Some of these have a 20-year contract term versus some don't have a contract term at all. So if you like the idea of having guaranteed savings for the next 20 years, then I recommend doing a contract term. But if that scares you a bit, or you might think you might be moving or something like that, then maybe that's not for you. And then luckily right now, none of the current offers have an exit fee from a contract. You just have to let them know within 90 days that you would like to cancel your subscription. Some of these have credit checks, others have a soft credit check or no credit check at all. And then all of the offers bill a bit differently. So some will look more like the example I showed, where you'll receive your utility electric bill from ComEd, and then you'll also receive a bill from the solar provider. And others like to combine those bills. So they'll get your ComEd account information and send you one bill instead of 2. Others do auto pay and only offer auto pay. So that is also something, just finding what works best for you. And CUB actually has a really wonderful website specifically for community solar called solarinthecommunity.com. And on that website, we have a chart that compares all of the different offers. So they list those questions that we talked about, you know, the savings, the contract term, credit check, and it also lists which utility territory that program is available and offered in. So I would recommend looking into this website. We also reiterate all of the information that I shared with you all today. All right, so that is all for community solar. Next, I would like to go over a program called Illinois Solar for All. So Illinois Solar for All is a low-income solar program in the state of Illinois. It's relatively new, and it provides a way for folks to access solar if they qualify. So through this program, there's no upfront cost for going solar, and there's a savings guarantee of 50% of the value of the energy produced. So that's pretty nice, 50%. People who qualify must be at or below 80% area median income. So for example, Chicago Metro, that would be around 44,000 for a one-person household, or around 63,000 for a four-person household. And through Illinois Solar for All, you're able to access rooftop solar and community solar. Also, nonprofit and public facilities can participate in this program as well. And for more complete information on this program, you can visit illinoissfa.com for more information on how to sign up. And I will also give you a bit of information for how to sign up. So specifically for rooftop solar, the first thing you need to do, of course, is determine your eligibility. And if you are eligible, you will need to find an approved vendor. So these are solar installers who are approved by the state and by the program administrator. And to do that, you can go to the website and go under the vendor directory tab, and you can choose your electric utility and your county, and they will give you a list of installers who are approved in your area. And then you can go ahead and reach out to them to get solar panels on your home. And homeowners have the option of purchasing panels through this program or doing a lease or power purchase agreement. I would say leasing for Solar for All is more common than purchasing panels, but leasing works differently through Solar for All than it does outside of the program, because there are those guaranteed savings that are written into law. So it's a much better deal. You can also access community solar through Solar for All. On the website, they have a list of current community solar offers through this program. And when I mentioned before that community solar outside of the program has a range of 10 to 20% guaranteed savings, community solar through Solar for All has that guaranteed 50% savings. So if you do qualify, it's a no-brainer to go for this program. And I just wanted to show what the website looked like so you can familiarize yourself with it. This is the home page, and if you're under the Illinois residents tab and scroll down a bit, it will show you, you can click for more information for renters, which would be community solar, or for homeowners and building owners, which could be community solar and rooftop solar. And before even considering going solar, we like to mention the importance of energy efficiency, because at Cub, we love to say that the cheapest kilowatt hour is the one that you don't use. So there's no point in going solar or sizing a large system for an inefficient house, right? You want to make sure your home is as efficient as possible and that your energy usage is low before you go solar. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do this. The obvious ones are making sure that you have LED lighting, that your home is properly weatherized, and if you are able to, investing in energy efficient appliances or Energy Star appliances. Smart thermostats are also a great thing to increase your energy efficiency. And assuming that most of you are ComEd customers, you can go to comed.com/ways to save to look into the different energy efficiency programs that you may be eligible for, or the different weatherization programs you may be eligible for. ComEd also offers discounts and rebates on Energy Star appliances. So if you are planning on upgrading an appliance, make sure to go to the website to get some free money. And ComEd also has a program called the Home Energy Assessment, which has no income qualifications. Any ComEd customer is able to sign up for this program. And how this works is they'll send someone to your home and do a walkthrough and just make sure that everything is as efficient as it can be, point out any issues they might see. And then for free, they will, if you would like them to, they'll replace all of your lights with LED lighting, give you low flow faucets and other little energy efficiency tools, just to make sure that your home is as efficient as possible. All right, so now many of you may be wondering how solar is even possible or a viable option. And I get this question a lot because a lot of people, when they think about solar, they think about how expensive it is. But right now, through state and federal incentives, solar is the most affordable it's ever been. And through technological advancements, the cost of solar panels has been going down in recent years. So just to give a bit of background, I want to talk about how we got to this place where Illinois can offer such great state incentives for solar. So first, in 2016, we passed the Future Energy Jobs Act, otherwise known as FEJA, and that bill created a lot of incentives that we see today for solar. In particular, it created two programs where you can access solar through. We have Illinois Shines and Illinois Solar for All. So I already mentioned Illinois Solar for All, that is the low income program. And then Illinois Shines is the program with no income qualifications. And through both of those programs, you are able to access both rooftop solar and community solar. So those programs are where the incentives come from. And in 2021, Illinois passed the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, otherwise known as CEJA. And that just strengthened the programs that were created in 2016, and it's continuing to offer those incentives. So a couple things it did, it created 100% carbon-free power sector by 2045. It created that goal. It also increased the statewide goal to achieve 50% renewable generation by 2040. And Illinois Solar for All budget was increased from $10 million to $50 million per year. So these two, FEJA and CEJA, are very important in Illinois in terms of the viability of solar for everyday people. And now just to list off the general incentives. First, and this is for people who are going to go rooftop solar. So we're going to transition now from community solar, where you would offset your electricity usage, to rooftop solar, where you're actually producing your own electricity. And so first we have the tax credit. So the federal incentive is a tax credit that can be claimed on federal income taxes for a percentage of the cost of going solar. So right now it is set at 26%. It was at 30% for a while. In 2022, it stepped down to 26%. At the end of the year, it will step down to 24%, or no, 22%, excuse me. And then after that, it may be gone. So this is a really wonderful credit that covers a quarter of your cost of going solar. So if you are considering going solar, I would encourage you to look into it before the end of the year, just to get that extra 4% before the federal tax credit steps down. Next, we have the state solar renewable energy credits, or SRECs. So these credits are issued through Illinois Shines. And how these work is when you get solar panels installed on your home, the installer will estimate the amount of electricity that your panels will produce over the next 15 years. This amount will then be multiplied by a dollar amount, which is the price of the SREC at the time, and you will receive a check from your installer that comes from the state. And this can cover up to 30% of the cost of going solar. So with the federal tax incentive at 26 and state solar around 30, you can see about 60% of your cost of going solar covered through these incentives, which is rapidly bringing down the cost of solar from where we started in the beginning. And lastly, we have utility net metering. So what this is when anytime your solar panels produce energy, they're going to power your home. But if you produce more energy than you're using at the time, that energy will be sent back to your utilities grid. And the meter on your home will keep track of this amount of electricity. And you will see a credit on your bill from your utility anytime that you do produce more than you use. And these credits can roll over from month to month with an annual true up in April. So what this means is if you have credits that are worth more than the amount of your bill that month, they will be saved for the next month. And this is pretty handy because, as we know, we have pretty intense winters here in Illinois and we don't get as much sun. So in the summer, we'll be storing up all of these credits that we're producing. And then in the winter, when your system may not be producing as much, those credits will then be applied to your bill. So by the time April comes around, you'll most likely be around 0 credits anyways, rollover credits at least. Now I want to talk about the different ways that you can get panels on your rooftop. So there's the way that most of us think about, which is just purchasing the panels. So you can purchase them and finance them however is best for you. And then you own those panels, right? So when you own panels, you will receive that federal tax credit, state incentives, and utility net metering. You'll get all of the incentives because you are the owner of the panels. There are two other things called power purchase agreements and leases. So both of these are when a solar company, they market this a lot because it's beneficial for them. They will reach out to you to put solar panels on your roof, but they will not, you will not purchase those panels. The solar company will still own the panels, but they will be on your roof and they will be powering your home. So by doing this, you benefit by free electricity and utility net metering. So you'll still get those credits from ComEd applied to your bill. The solar installer would not get those. And how they work with a lease is that you would then pay the solar company a fixed monthly rate in turn for getting that free energy. But we like to warn that there are often cost escalators in the contract. So sometimes they're around 2 to 3%. So every year you'll be paying more on that monthly fixed rate. And by the end of a 20-year contract, you could be paying 50% more per month than what you started with. So we do like to warn against that and have people really look into that contract. Sometimes it can also make it difficult to move homes if you haven't finished that lease period. Power purchase agreements are very similar, except for instead of paying a fixed monthly fee to a solar installer, you'll be paying a price per kilowatt hour that the solar panels produced. So it'll vary each month, but there can still be cost escalators because that rate per kilowatt hour may increase. So we highly recommend looking into ownership before looking into power purchase agreement or lease, just because a lot of time it is the most financially viable. And one thing I would also like to mention is with utility net metering through ComEd, since it is an investor-owned utility, you are getting a 1-to-1 rate on that net metering. So say you pay 8 cents per kilowatt hour to the utility, you will also be receiving 8 cents per kilowatt hour back versus I mentioned earlier, if you are in a municipal aggregation or co-op utility territory, their net metering policy may differ from a 1-to-1 net metering policy. All right, so now that we have all of that information and maybe you're interested in getting started and want to go solar, we recommend that you start by comparing 3 to 4 offers. So for community solar, we have that comparison chart I mentioned. So we recommend picking your top 3 favorites out of those offers, going to the websites and doing some research on them, and really making sure that you're picking the offer that works best for you. I would like to warn that some community solar offers currently have a wait list. So it's a good idea once you pick your 3 offers to call them up and ask what the wait list is looking like at that time, because it's quickly changing. It's hard to keep track of. So I do recommend you keep that in mind if you are interested in community solar. And for rooftop solar, we recommend a similar thing, but to get 3 to 4 quotes from different installers, just so that once again, you're able to compare those different offers and see which contract looks best for you. And I also like to mention, since CUB is a consumer advocacy group, that with both rooftop and community solar, installers are legally, or companies are legally obligated to provide you a program brochure and a standard disclosure form that goes through the program. So if you did not receive either one of those, that is a problem, and you should contact either Illinois Shines or Illinois Solar for All, or you can contact CUB, because we want to be making sure that you're receiving your consumer protections that the law has put in place for everyone to receive. Illinois Shines also has a consumer complaint database that you can find on the website, and that will list any formal complaints that have been made against a solar company. So if you do choose a company that seems right for you, but you'd like to see if they've ever had complaints made against them, you can go there and type in their name and see if they pop up on that list. All right, and then the final thing I want to talk about today is a program called Grow Solar Chicagoland. Grow Solar Chicagoland is a solar group buy program that makes it a bit more affordable for everyday people to go solar by offering a bulk purchasing discount. And so how this works is CUB this summer is partnering up with the Midwest Renewable Energy Association to run this program. And we are offering a series of free solar power hours throughout Cook, Kane, DuPage, Will, and Lake counties. And we're running these free informational sessions to educate communities about the benefits of solar, the affordability of solar, and the Grow Solar program. And while we do this, we've also chosen an installer to work with through a competitive selection process. So this year we're working with Windfree Solar. And so if you join the Grow Solar Chicagoland Group Buy program, Windfree Solar will be the installer that you would work with to get your solar panels on your home. After attending an informational session, interested participants can sign up to get a no obligation consultation with Windfree, where they will receive a custom quote and kind of find out how much solar is going to cost them. And the great thing about this program is that the more participants who join, the greater the savings are for all. So there are price breaks that are set at different participation benchmarks. And as we reach those participation benchmarks, the price will get lower and lower. So I just wanted to mention this. This is a newer program that we're starting, or I guess we're in the beginning of the program. This is CUB's third time running it. So if solar sounds really good to you and you've enjoyed this presentation, but aren't quite sure where to start or don't really want to go through the hassle of getting those 4 quotes and choosing an installer, you can go to growsolar.org/Chicagoland to find out more about this program, if that seems better, a better fit for you. If you have any questions, you can email me at mminnick@citizensutilityboard.org. Or call our hotline at any time that you have any type of question about solar, your bills, your phone company, landlines, anything at all. Thank you so much.